your back. Get down or lay down, house going down. Lay down or get down, house going down. Down, down, down.
And as you can tell by the thumbnail, man, we're going to be talking about the motorcycle clubs. Recent incident that happened over Memorial Day weekend between the Hells Angels and Vagos Motorcycle Club. So apparently there's some new revealing information about this current case that I'm going to get to, but let's just go back down to the basics. So apparently the Vagos were having some type of memorial veterans run, like a lot of motorcycle clubs do. A lot of them are very supportive of law enforcement, military and whatnot. And they were going to be stopped at the Hoover Dam. And apparently they got ambushed by 3 Hells Angels members. One of them being the club president for the Las Vegas chapter, Richard John DeVries, as well as 2 other HA recruits that he had with him, which was an individual named Russell Smith and another individual named Stephen Allo. Apparently this is what's being said in the social media and publications and so forth, man, is that apparently 3 Hells Angels were in their colors, were observed on camera being filmed, trying to approach these Vagos while they were on their bikes, trying to kick them over while they were driving and stuff. And I guess it got a little tensed. One of the HAs actually stood up on his bike, I guess, while he was driving and just started blasting and capping. Apparently 6 people got shot, or 7 got injured, but 6 people got shot that were at least associated with the Vagos. It hasn't been determined whether the Vagos had shot back or not. But, this is just a crazy example of just how things can go sometimes when you just do things like that, And the only questions I have is, like, first of all, it's broad daylight. Second of all, you're flying your colors. Third of all, in addition to all this, because they arrested them, all these individuals later on, I guess they probably tried to disperse a little bit from each other, to not be recognized, but they were able to locate that all 3 were together at the same location through the cell phone towers. And we've discussed that before. Cell phones is a new way of getting people for committing crimes. So they did everything wrong, basically, as far as trying to ambush or do a hit. Now you ask yourself, what would call for anybody to take that type of action? I get it, some of these clubs don't get along, but to go to that extreme with that much anger and that much frustration, there has to be something more personal along the lines that's occurring, because it doesn't seem like the Vagos MC, according to this day, were really the aggressors. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm going off what eyewitness accounts say. So I did a little research, and apparently, man, this happened this week. I think about 5 weeks ago, there was a Hells Angel in San Bernardino that was killed at a heavy metal concert. Okay, this has been kept under wraps. The San Bernardino investigational team has really kept this under wraps because they don't want to associate with this shooting, and they're still investigating who actually did the killing. So that's why you may have not really heard it in any news outlets. But I'm gonna tell you who the individual is that got killed out there in that shooting that happened about I think it was April 23rd at a death metal concert where 1 person was murdered and 4 were injured. Well, that's the case I'm talking about. James Vincent Dixon. Somehow it is believed the allegations are that this may be associated, because apparently either Dixon, from what they're putting out there, I can't confirm or corroborate this, but what's being put out there through certain links is that he was actually a Hells Angel member. So that this possible shooting was retribution basically for what occurred to him, which makes sense. Anytime a newly, killing or issue happens with any type of club, gangs, or whatnot out there on the streets, everything's fresh. And usually every group's can operate differently, as far as, mandates, green lights and so forth, man. But I know these clubs, man, they really are about brotherhood, And sometimes when things happen, conflicts or funk, you're supposed to rise for your brother. And so knowing that these guys were crossing through, an area, they must have decided to ambush them. Either someone gave them a tip that they were coming through, or maybe they just happened to see him on just a fluke. I don't know. But I get that part now. Because the camaraderie that you have for your brother, man, that was just killed, and it's alleged that it was a Vago member at this concert. You know what I'm saying? So this case may be a little bit more broader scope than what it is. No one got hurt in this. I mean, no one died in this freeway shooting, man. But these type of things can escalate to get worse and worse, man. I mean, some of the most, extreme shootings. We talk about the Sacramento shooting that happened, man. It seems like in the biker world, this happens all the time. They don't care if they're in a casino with all the cameras on and everybody can identify you. They don't even care. They just start getting to clapping. You know what I mean? Which is kind of, ironic, because you would think that, these clubs, a lot of them operate really, like I said, professionally. You know what I'm saying? They have, they do charities, they do, bike runs, they do a lot of support for the communities and stuff. So you would think that they want to maintain a very incognito image. You know what I'm saying? Stuff's going to happen and so forth, man. But, when push comes to shove, they don't care who's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all the numerous shootings that we had, Laughlin and all that, man. Out there in Texas, all the way out to South Carolina, man. You have groups that are going at it, man, and where multiple people are getting killed or shot. It's like, the brotherhood is so strong, and the hate is so real, and the competition and all the testosterone is just flowing, that these dudes just don't care. They block everything out, and they just get crazy. It reminds me of some of those movies, man, where you see a bunch of people in a bar just start fucking bar fighting, man. I've had very limited dealings. I've dealt with some people that were HAs, henchmen, road warriors, clubs like that. They were all pretty much affiliated under the HAs, and my experience with them, they were cool. I never had any personal conflicts or issues, and they were independent relationships. They had nothing to do with club business. Club business is club business. I'm not going to concern myself with that. That's a whole different element. You know what I'm saying? Than people realize. People have certain stereotypes when they talk about these clubs. Thinking that they're all engaged in illicit activities. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are just normal citizens that are. This is their club. This is what they represent. But when they're wearing their colors and their brothers are falling, they're gonna rock. You know what I'm saying? That's without a doubt. I'm gonna do a little bit more research into this, man, because this is like a growing trend. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing more and more aggressive shootings. I don't know if it's just the change of times, or just this is the way of life now. But man, crazy scenarios like that, man, just things that just boggle your mind. When I heard about this case, I thought, okay, maybe they were like, they ran into each other and things got kind of hectic and they started capping. Nah, these dudes actually tried to ambush them. They were the aggressors. They were looking for the funk when they came in. And it makes more sense now. After this new information I was able to obtain, it makes sense why everything happened. At first, I couldn't make no sense of it. Why are you going to do this in broad daylight? It's like if I had an issue where something happened to one of my brothers or close friends, or, my children or anything, and I run into anybody associated with them within that first month, I'm going to get to clapping. I don't care, eye for eye. So I get that whole model. It doesn't mean it's right, but I understand people's feelings. I understand people's emotions and so forth, because it seems like people that live in that MC club world take the club serious, man. Like, it's like to the extreme. I guess they kind of have it where it's symbolic to bloodline relationships, which it should be if you're committed to it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these guys have options still, which is a trip. They're not under no strict, rigorous commands, like as far as like the NF or anything like that. They have, basic guidelines and so forth and expectations, which aren't hard to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to engage in anything illicit. There's no ties within any of these groups to the whole organization being basically an illicit enterprise. You know what I'm saying? Which is smart. It's usually people within factions who are independently operating, but they're associated with this, but they don't let this become the basis of this. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they've been able to overcome a lot of, RICO indictments and so forth. They got one going on right now, though, out there in Sonoma County. We dropped on it recently on Convict's Perspective. That one has a whole bunch of witnesses, man, but I don't know which way it's gonna go. Now, see, in doing more research, what I've been able to figure out, man, about this Hell's Angel Vagos conflict, man, it goes back all the way to the '60s, basically over a lot of territory. In particular, Santa Cruz is one of the main areas that they had a big conflict that started. But California is also a state that's been, you know, traditionally is going to continue. Probably traditionally has been the Hell's Angels. It's probably going to continue. But there's a lot of Vagos that, you know, have some type of, you know, presence out there. And apparently in 2010, you know, the conflict, they've always had little tensions and issues all throughout their history, right? But in 2010, it reached its peak. And you know, I know what it reached its peak over? Over the Starbucks in downtown Santa Cruz, over who was going to be able to kick back there. I shit you not, man. Only in Santa Cruz that kind of shit would happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to think of it, man. When I actually heard this and talked to a couple people that I know that are in that world, and they gave me a little brief, concise breakdown, I'm like, man, are you serious? Over a fucking downtown Santa Cruz Starbucks when there's probably about fucking 4 within a mile distance? It made no sense to me. But like I said, man, people are very territorial, and that machismo comes out, you know. But basically, their conflict has been, you know, escalated, and then next thing you know, you had more incidents that occurred afterwards. You know, they actually went after some. The Vagos actually hit some really serious targets, man. Really serious targets. I'm pretty sure everybody remembers that, man. So this feud's been there for a long time, and all it takes is one incident. So I guess anytime they probably engage, you know, at common festivals or common places, I guess there's probably conflict that kicks off, man. You know, it's the same way, you know, for years, you know, with North and South sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Or North and Bulldogs. You encounter them in certain areas, hey, it's going to crack off. Sometimes guns get pulled and so forth, man. You know, and that's the craziness of living in this lifestyle. You know, you never know what's going to occur or where life is going to lead you. You know, as much as a lot of people in the biker world want to, you know, look at the 1%ers as just their clubs, their operations still, man, they have an insignia. They engage in activities that benefit their own club, right? So of course they're going to look at this as gangs. Now I get where they throw out the club meaning, and I'm all supportive of that. If that works, that's cool. But it's not me that's going to call them a gang. It's going to be like the district attorneys, the Department of Justice, and so forth, man. They've been trying to pinpoint a lot of shit on the HAs for a minute. You know, that's just the reality of it. You know, they've been able to slip through the cracks. A lot of these biker clubs have been. And the sophistication of their operations now, you know, everybody catches up. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens on this case, man. Anyways, little brief breakdown. Like I said, it is under speculation that this act that happened in Henderson was all based upon what happened in April at a death metal concert. That individual was a Hell's Angel member. He was allegedly killed by a Vago. These are all allegations. You know what I mean? And this was basically, you know, reprisal actions. You know what I'm saying? And probably who knows? I don't know how their mandates and policies work, but apparently he felt some way about it, man. And as an old timer, I'm pretty sure he's been there throughout the other conflicts and wars, and probably lost some friends in it, man. You know, the biker world is a whole different underworld. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that goes on that's not shown to the public, just like the gang world. There's a lot of things that go on in that gang world that's not shown to the public, man. So only they know what they're dealing with and what that life's about. Anyways, real quick spiel, man. I hope you guys have a positive day, man. I'm on a long trip, so I'm gonna try to drop this a little early. I'm probably gonna have a couple other videos ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Loaded in my library, man, ready to drop. You know what I mean? But in any event, man, have a positive day, man. I'm gonna be driving for some hours today, man. Stay blessed, stay healthy, stay safe, and take care of your loved ones. I'm gone.